Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Trek, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today, I'm looking at Captain's Holiday from The Next Generation's third season, or as I like to call it, that time we had tiny shorts. This episode was requested by Peterson ZF. Thank you for the suggestion, and let's get going. We begin the episode with this lady's butt, before Zoidberg's relatives rock up to Risa looking for Captain Picard, but the computer says he's not around. We learn from a voiceover that Picard has been at peace talks for a fortnight, which Deanna was also at, but Picard is cranky, so she suggests a holiday, and into the credits we go. Beverly goes to Picard to tell him off for not looking after himself and wants him to go on holiday, but he's being stubborn. So Riker nags him on the holodeck to go to Risa, but he still says no. The buck stops with Deanna, who lies and says her mother is coming to visit soon and wants to spend all her time with Picard. So he asks Will if everyone is planning on harassing him until he goes. Yep, so he finally agrees. After Picard packs, Riker asks him to locate him a Horgon on Risa, and Worf wants a security officer to go with him, but Picard turns it down. He beams down, passing this woman's butt before bumping into a lady who spots a Ferengi and makes out with Picard as a cover before he passes by the aliens. Picard gets splashed while trying to read before he gets a ball in his face belonging to this lady who wants to get in his pants. Picard tells her to go away, but she points out the Horgon he got for Will, which when put on display means he's looking to bang, so he stashes it before the Ferengi bugs him about the woman from earlier and a missing disc. Fun fact, Sovok here is played by the same actor who played Rom in DS9. Picard tells him to push off, which annoys Sovok, and Picard gets up in his business, so he sods off for now, and then the kissing woman Vash comes to see him and wants to know all about him. He gets pissed off and tries to walk away, but he runs into Sovok, so Vash slips him the disc, and he leaves with Sovok trying to bribe Vash. Picard gets home to find Vorgons in his room who claim to be from the future, and they say they're looking for a weapon from their time. And according to their records, Picard found something that matched his description on Risa while on holiday, but he says he hasn't. The aliens insist that when he does find it, he must give it to them, and they sod off, where Picard discovers the disc in his pocket and visits Vash, whose room has been tossed. He wants to know what it is and if it's connected to the missing weapon, and she explains that she's an assistant to some bigwig who was looking for the weapon, and the disc contains all his research and maps. So Picard asks about Sovok, who turns out was also an assistant. Picard decides to go treasure hunting, but Vash insists on tagging along, so he tells her to change, but dude, you might want to do the same. They meet back up in the square, but Sovok catches them and threatens them before revealing that he paid Vash to steal the disc in the first place, and she chucks her bag at him so Picard can disarm him and punches him in the face. The pair make it to some caves and organize a little sleepover where Vash admits she did actually take the disc because Sovok paid her. And whoa, check out that blingy bedding. No wonder Picard steals all the blanket. They have a little flirt chat, which results in a makeout sesh. Get it, Picard? And in the morning, they make it to the apparent location of the weapon. Vash's scanner goes on the fritz, so they have to search the old-fashioned way. But the aliens show up, which pisses Vash off, and then Sovok crashes the party and makes them dig. After a lot of digging, Picard wants to give up, so Sovok freaks out, and the aliens leave to avoid having to watch all this drama. And desperate, Sovok takes over the digging himself. Picard and Vash make it back where she wants to be alone, so Picard chats to Riker and asks for a special transporter to be put on standby before catching Vash before she leaves. He accuses her of already having the weapon, and she reveals it to be hidden in one of those sex statues. Hey, that'll buy you 5 seconds in the Crystal Dome! But of course the aliens show up wanting the weapon. However, Vash thinks they're shifty and doesn't want to hand it over. The aliens don't want to prove their identities and instead shoot Vash, so Picard orders a transport which blows the weapon up, and he tells the aliens to piss off. He packs to go home but has one last smooch before returning to the Enterprise and telling Riker off for the Horgon stunt. This was cute! I enjoyed it. It was nice to see Picard all casual Friday and have a calmer, toned-down episode with a bit of an Indiana Jones adventure feel to it. I liked how all the crew conspired to force Picard to take a holiday, especially Deanna's ploy, and Riker's trick with a statue, as well as having a nearly 50-year-old Patrick Stewart rocking a bare chest and tiny gold shorts and getting a smooch on. Good for him. This was a pretty simple episode, but didn't feel slow, and it was nice to see Picard going from a bit of a curmudgeon to having a fun adventure, but still being ahead of the game enough to know what Vash was planning and how to outwit like the aliens. Not much to go into on this one, but that's okay. Sometimes it's nice to just sit back and enjoy an episode without having to think too much. And despite its middling rating, I had a fun time and think it's one you guys should check out for yourselves. So there you have it. That was Captain's Holiday. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.